In a small concrete house in Batangas, Philippines, a woman named Lola raised 7 grandchildren completely alone for 22 years.
No husband. No support. No complaints.
Just faith, a garden, and hands that never stopped working. This is her story. And it will break your heart before it heals it. Lola was 56 years old when her first child left for Saudi Arabia. Her son Ramon promised he would return in 2 years. He sent money faithfully for 18 months.
Then the amount decreased.
Then it stopped entirely. Lola told the grandchildren he was simply very busy. She believed he would come back. Her daughter Cora left next, bound for Hong Kong as a domestic worker. Then her son Eddie went to Italy. Then her youngest daughter Faye departed for Dubai. They all made the same promise. They all meant it when they said it. And the silence that followed grew louder than every promise combined. Before we continue, subscribe to Pinoy Spirit Chronicles for stories that celebrate the incredible heart of the Filipino people. Like this video if you believe grandmothers deserve the world. Share with someone whose Lola changed their life. And drop Pinoy Red Heart in the comments right now. Let us honor every Lola together. The 7 grandchildren ranged from 6 to 16 years old when they found themselves permanently in Lola Estaing's care. Marco was the eldest at 16. The youngest was baby Nina, barely walking. Lola looked at all 7 faces one morning and made a decision she never announced to anyone.
She simply began.
She woke every morning at 5 without an alarm.
First she prayed.
Then she watered her vegetables. Then she started the rice. By 6:37 children were fed, uniformed and walking to school. Neighbors watched this and shook their heads quietly.
How does she do it?
Nobody ever asked her directly. She would not have known how to answer. Lola Estaing took in laundry from 3 families in the barangay. She scrubbed each piece by hand in a large plastic basin out back, the kind you see in every Filipino household. Her knuckles split open during the cold months. She never wore gloves. She said she needed to feel the fabric to know it was truly clean. Her vegetable garden kept them fed through the weeks when laundry money ran short.
Kongkong along the fence. Kamote tops near the water pump.
Ampalaya climbing the bamboo trellis. She talked to her plants every morning like old friends. The grandchildren laughed about this when they were small. When they got older they realized she was thanking everything that kept them alive. Marco understood earliest what had happened. He never said it out loud. He just started showing up beside Lola before sunrise, carrying water, hanging wet clothes, walking the younger ones to school so she could rest her legs for 10 minutes. One morning she watched him do all of this without being asked. She pressed her palm against his cheek and held it there. When grandchildren asked about their parents, Lola always said the same thing. They are working very hard so you can have a better life. They love you from far away.
Pray for them tonight.
She said it so many times with such steady calm that the grandchildren stopped questioning it, the same way you stop questioning why the sky is blue.
It just was.
She went to every school event alone.
Parents' Day.
Graduation ceremonies.
Recognition programs.
She sat on plastic chairs in crowded school canteens, sometimes attending events for 3 different grandchildren in the same week. Teachers all knew her name. She always tucked something small in her bag for each child, a piece of fruit, a boiled egg, whatever she had that morning. The roof leaked badly in 2 spots every rainy season. Lola climbed up and patched to herself using salvaged galvanized iron sheets and tools she borrowed from a neighbor. Marco helped once he was tall enough. She never asked anyone for money. She told Marco a leaking roof is not a problem, it is an engineering challenge. He carried that line with him for the rest of his life. Christmas was always the hardest. Money from the absent children had dried up years ago. Lola stretched whatever she had. She cooked her best dishes from the garden and whatever the neighbors quietly dropped off at the door. She decorated the house with cut paper and old ribbon. She made Christmas feel full. The grandchildren had no idea they were poor. She made sure of that. Father Dominic at the parish church was the only person who knew everything. Lola came to him monthly, not to confess sins but to unload worries. The grandchildren are growing so fast. My body is getting tired. I am afraid I will not finish what I started. Father Dominic told her the same thing every time. You will finish. God already decided you will finish. What nobody knew was that Lola had been writing letters to her 4 absent children since the month they stopped calling. 1 letter per child.
Every single month.
She described the grandchildren's lives in slow, careful handwriting.
First steps. Report cards.
A broken arm from climbing a mango tree.
First heartbreaks.
She mailed every letter to the last address she had for each child. She never got a single reply. Not one letter came back.
Not one phone call. Not even a text message.
Father Dominic asked her once if the silence hurt. Lola sat with the question for a while. Then she said, "The letters are not for them to answer.
They are for them to keep.
Whenever they are ready." Marco graduated high school first in his class. Lola wore her best dress to the ceremony, a faded blue house dress she had owned for 12 years, washed and pressed that morning until it looked almost new. She sat in the front row. When Marco crossed the stage, she stood up and clapped with both hands above her head like nobody else existed in that room. The other grandchildren finished school one after another. Marco became a teacher in Manila. His sister Luz trained as a nurse. The rest found steady work in cities across the Philippines. They all sent money home without being asked. Lola accepted it quietly and spent almost nothing on herself. The grandchildren noticed. They said nothing, but they noticed. At 76, Lola's body started giving out in ways she could no longer hide from herself.
Her hands ached constantly. Her eyesight was going.
She slept longer and woke later than she had in 2 decades. She told only Father Dominic. She would not tell the grandchildren because she had spent their entire lives standing between them and worry. She was not about to stop now. She wrote one final letter. Not to her absent children this time. To all 7 grandchildren together. She worked on it over 3 evenings at the kitchen table under the single bulb that hung from the ceiling, stopping when her fingers cramped and picking it up again the next night. When she finished, she sealed it and gave it to Father Dominic. Her instructions were precise. Only open this when I am gone. Only read it to them if my children have not come home by the time of the burial. Father Dominic put the letter in his desk drawer. It stayed there for 2 years. Her children did not come home for the funeral. Not one of them. Lola Estang died on a Tuesday morning in November. Marco was holding her hand. The window was open and the smell of sampaguita drifted in from the garden she had kept alive for 22 years. She did not say anything dramatic. She simply closed her eyes with the kind of peace that belongs to someone who finished exactly what they came here to do. All 7 grandchildren gathered in the small Batangas house after the burial. They were adults now, ranging from 28 to 38 years old. The house felt strangely enormous without her, which made no sense because the house was tiny. But that is what happens when the person who filled every corner with love is no longer standing in it. Father Dominic came that evening with the sealed letter. He explained Lola's instructions carefully. He explained the condition. He told them their parents had not come. Then he opened the envelope and read the letter aloud to all 7 grandchildren sitting around the same kitchen table where Lola had served them thousands of meals. Nobody made a sound while he read. The letter said 3 things. First, Lola had known for many years that her children were not coming back. She had made her peace with this alone, and she had never once allowed it to become the grandchildren's weight to carry. She wrote that forgiveness given in private is still forgiveness. She had already forgiven all 4 of them long before she picked up the pen. Second, the letter told them to look under her mattress. Inside a small envelope was money she had been setting aside for 20 years, a little each month from laundry earnings and vegetable sales, never telling a soul. The total was enough to put the 2 youngest grandchildren through college. She had started saving when Nina was 3 years old. Third, Lola told them about the letters. She had written 1 letter per child per month for 22 years straight, documenting everything their absent parents had missed. She told the grandchildren exactly where the bundles were kept, in a large plastic folder at the bottom of her wardrobe, tucked behind her good dress. Then she asked them to deliver every single one. Not out of anger. She was very clear about this. Not to cause shame or demand any explanation. Simply because, she wrote, every parent deserves to know the children they left behind became good people. And every child deserves to know their parent was never forgotten. Even when the forgetting seemed to go both ways. Marco spent 8 months tracking them down. His uncle Ramon was in Saudi Arabia with a new family who had never heard of the grandchildren back in Batangas. His aunt Cora had been wiring money for years to an address that no longer existed. She had never stopped trying. The money simply never arrived. Eddie was in Italy. Faye was in Dubai. He found them all. Each parent received their bundle. Between 250 and 280 letters each. 22 years of their children growing up, written in Lola's handwriting. Every letter was dated. Every letter described someone learning to walk, going to school, falling in love, getting hurt, getting back up. Marco hand-delivered where he could and sent the rest by registered mail. 2 of Lola's children flew home within a month of reading the letters. They arrived broken and ashamed and unable to explain even to themselves how a temporary absence had quietly become a permanent one. The reunion was not dramatic. It was slow and awkward and honest in the way that real reconciliation always is when nobody is performing for a camera. One parent never responded. One sent Marco a single message. It said only, "I am not worthy of those letters." Marco sat with that message for 3 full days.
Then he typed back 4 words.
Lola already decided otherwise. He never heard from that parent again. He kept the door open anyway. Because that is what Lola would have done. The 7 grandchildren chose forgiveness together. Not because it was easy. Not because anyone told them to. But because Lola had spent 22 years showing them exactly what it looked like. She never said a single bitter word about their parents. She loved her grandchildren so completely that there was simply no space left inside them for lasting anger to take root. Marco went back to the small Batangas house 1 year after Lola's passing. He sat in her chair at the kitchen table.
He looked out at the garden.
The sampaguita was still blooming. Someone in the barangay had been coming by to water it. Nobody asked them to. They just did it. Marco sat there for a long time thinking, that is exactly what Lola would have done for someone else. This story is inspired by the real experiences of millions of Filipino grandmothers who raised children that were not theirs to raise, because love does not check whose name is on the birth certificate. Lola Estang raised 7 good people in a house with a leaking roof using nothing but her bare hands and her whole heart. She wrote over 1,000 letters that nobody answered.
And she died at peace.
Because she finished what she came here to do.
Philippines Red Heart.